The ballroom at the Fairmont Hotel was packed with 200 people celebrating my father's 70th birthday. Crystal chandeliers, champagne fountains, a 12-piece orchestra. The whole spectacle cost around $150,000. Money I'd transferred last month when Dad said he wanted something modest. I stood near the bar, nursing a vodka tonic, watching my brother Cameron work the room like a politician. He was 37, perpetually unemployed, and wearing a Tom Ford suit that cost more than most people's monthly salary. A suit I'd paid for, though he'd never admit it. Sarah. Dad appeared beside me, flushed from champagne and attention. There's my brilliant daughter. Come, I want you to meet some people. He steered me toward a group of his golf buddies, all of them wealthy retirees living off investments and family money. Gentlemen, this is Sarah. She does something technical with computers. Very smart, but too modest to talk about it. Something technical with computers. I was the chief technology officer of a cybersecurity firm that serviced Fortune 100 companies. My salary was $480,000 a year, not counting stock options and bonuses. But to Dad, I did something with computers. Meanwhile, Cameron, who'd been fired from 6 jobs in 10 years, was introduced as an entrepreneur and business innovator. Sarah, one of the golf buddies, said, "Your father tells us you're very generous. Supporting the family, helping your brother get started." Getting started. Cameron had been getting started for 15 years. "I try to help when I can," I said neutrally. "That's wonderful. Family is so important." Dad's hand landed on my shoulder. "Actually, I'm glad we have a moment. I need to talk to you about Cameron's situation. Here we go. He's found the perfect investment property," Dad continued. "A penthouse in the new development downtown. $3 million. The location is incredible and property values are only going up." $3 million. I said carefully. "Well, he needs $2 million for the down payment. The rest he can finance. It's actually a bargain considering." "Dad, we're at your birthday party. Can this wait?" "It's time-sensitive, sweetheart. The seller has other offers. Cameron needs to act by Monday. Then Cameron should act." Dad's smile tightened. "Sarah, don't be difficult. You know Cameron's credit situation is complicated right now. He needs help with the down payment." Complicated. Cameron had declared bankruptcy 3 years ago after his third failed business venture. A bankruptcy I'd tried to prevent by lending him $400,000. Money I never saw again. "Dad, $2 million is nothing to you," he interrupted, his voice lowering. "I've seen your investment statements, Sarah. You have plenty. This is for your brother's future." Something cold settled in my stomach. "You've seen my investment statements?" "Well, yes. When I helped you file taxes last year, I saw the portfolio summary. You have over $6 million in your accounts. $2 million is less than a third. You'll barely notice it's gone." I'd stopped letting Dad help with my taxes 4 years ago. Those statements he'd seen were from accounts I'd since closed and moved to private wealth management. My real net worth was $34 million. "Dad, those accounts aren't liquid. They're long-term investments." "Then liquidate some. Cameron needs this opportunity." "Why doesn't Cameron get a job and save for his own down payment?" Dad's face darkened. "He's trying to build something, Sarah. Unlike you hiding behind a corporate salary, he's taking risks. Being an entrepreneur. You should be supporting that instead of judging it. Hiding behind a corporate salary. I'd built that salary from nothing. Worked my way through state school on scholarships and part-time jobs while Cameron went to private university on my parents' dime. $240,000 in tuition they'd paid gladly. I'm not judging, I said. I'm declining. Cameron's opportunities always end the same way. This is different. It's always different, Dad. Mom appeared, her face bright with too much wine. Sarah, darling, don't upset your father at his party. Just write the check. You always do eventually. Why make it difficult? He was right. I always did eventually. After weeks of guilt trips and family pressure, I'd cave and write the check. It was easier than fighting. Except this time something snapped. No, I said simply. Dad blinked. No. I'm not giving Cameron $2 million. Sarah, be reasonable. I am being reasonable. Cameron's 47 years old. He's never held a job for more than 2 years. He's declared bankruptcy once and defaulted on 4 loans. He's not buying a penthouse with my money. Your money. Dad's voice rose. Sarah, do you have any idea how much we've invested in you over the years? How much your education cost? How much? My education was paid for by scholarships and student loans. Loans I paid back myself. You paid for Cameron's private school, his university, his first 3 apartments and his car. I got nothing. We gave you a place to live. Until I was 18. Same as any parent. That's not an investment, Dad. That's basic parenting. Mom's eyes were tearing up. How can you be so selfish? So ungrateful? After everything we've done. What have you done, Mom? Besides ask me for money every time Cameron has an idea? Cameron himself materialized, clearly having heard the raised voices. Sarah, why are you making a scene at Dad's party? I'm not making a scene. I'm declining to fund your lifestyle anymore. My lifestyle? I'm trying to invest in real estate. Build assets. Create generational wealth. With my money. It's a loan. I'll pay you back. Like you paid back the $400,000 from 3 years ago? Or the $120,000 from 5 years ago? Or the $85,000 before that? The golf buddies had gone very quiet watching this family drama unfold. Dad grabbed my arm. Lower your voice. You're embarrassing us. I'm embarrassing you? I pulled my arm free. You've spent the last 20 minutes asking me for $2 million at your birthday party and I'm the one embarrassing you? Sarah, please, Mom said. People are staring. Let them stare. My phone buzzed. A text from my wealth manager, Michael Chin. Unusual activity alert on secondary account. Call immediately. Excuse me, I said. I need to take this. I walked out to the lobby and called Michael. Sarah, someone tried to initiate a $2 million wire transfer from your Wells Fargo account 20 minutes ago. My blood went cold. That account only has $50,000 in it. It's mostly closed. They didn't know that. They had your account number, routing number, and social security number. They tried to set up online access and initiate a wire. Who? The IP address traces to the hotel you're at right now. The Fairmont. I closed my eyes. My father's birthday party. I flagged it as fraud and froze the account. But Sarah, whoever did this has your full financial information. Can you trace which device? Working on it. But I need to ask, is your family aware of your actual net worth? They know about one account with $6 million. They don't know about the rest. They're going to find out. When they couldn't access the Wells Fargo account, they tried your Bank of America account. That one's flagged too. Sarah, they're systematically trying to access your money. How many accounts have they tried? 4 so far. All blocked. But they're not stopping. I walked back into the ballroom and scanned the room. Cameron was on his phone near the coat check, his face frustrated. Dad was at the bar, also on his phone. They were trying to steal from me. At Dad's birthday party. While asking me for money to my face. Michael, I need you to do something for me. Name it. Contact hotel security. I'm going to need them here. And call my attorney, Patricia Vance. Tell her to bring documentation on everything. Every loan I've made to my family. Every bounce check from Cameron. Everything. Sarah, are you sure? They tried to steal $2 million from me while I'm standing here. Yes, I'm sure. Understood. Security will be there in 5 minutes. Patricia is 20 minutes out. I hung up and walked back to my family. Dad saw me coming and smiled. Sarah, I'm sorry we argued. Let's not let money come between us. You're my daughter and I love you. Dad, did you try to access my bank accounts tonight? His smile faltered. What? No, of course not. Really? Because someone with my account information tried to wire $2 million out of my Wells Fargo account 17 minutes ago. From an IP address at this hotel. Mom went pale. Cameron's hands stilled on his phone. That's ridiculous, Dad said. Who would? Someone who saw my old tax returns. Someone who knew my account numbers. Someone who was desperate for $2 million tonight. Sarah, you're being paranoid. Am I? Cameron, let me see your phone. What? Well, that's private. Let me see your phone or I'm calling the police right now. You can't. 2 hotel security officers appeared. Ms. Patterson? We received a call from your wealth management firm. They reported attempted fraud. Dad's face went from red to white. Sarah, what did you do? I protected myself. Finally. I turned to security. I'd like to file a formal complaint. Someone attempted to access my bank accounts without authorization. I believe it was either my father or my brother. Sarah. Mom shrieked. You can't accuse your family of. Of what? Theft? Fraud? That's exactly what I'm accusing them of. Cameron started backing toward the exit. Security blocked his path. Sir, we need you to stay here until the police arrive. Police. Dad's voice cracked. Sarah, you're calling the police? You tried to steal $2 million from me. What did you think would happen? It wasn't stealing. Your family. That money is. Mine, I interrupted. That money is mine. Not family money. Not Cameron's opportunity fund. Mine. The ballroom had gone completely silent. 200 guests watching this implosion. Patricia Vance strode in carrying her leather briefcase, looking like an avenging angel in Armani. Miss Patterson, she said formally. I have the documentation you requested. She opened her briefcase on the nearest table and pulled out folders. This is a complete accounting of every financial transaction between Sarah Patterson and her family over the past 12 years. She laid out spreadsheets, bank statements, loan agreements, bounce checks. Sarah has provided $4.7 million to her family over 12 years. Of that amount, $2.3 million went to Cameron Patterson for various failed business ventures. $1.1 million went to Richard and Margaret Patterson, her parents, for home renovations, car purchases, and credit card debt. Another $800,000 went to Cameron's mortgage payments, car payments, and personal expenses. The golf buddies were staring at the documents with their mouths open. Patricia continued, of the $4.7 million provided, exactly $0 have been repaid. Multiple loans have explicit repayment terms that were violated. 3 personal checks from Cameron Patterson bounced. And tonight, there was an attempted unauthorized wire transfer of $2 million from Sarah's account. That's not, we didn't, Dad was sputtering. Mr. Patterson, did you access your daughter's tax returns without permission? I was helping her. I'm her father. Did you share her account information with Cameron Patterson? Silence. Did you or Cameron attempt to access her online banking tonight? We were just, Cameron needed, she has so much and. That's a yes, Patricia said crisply. Mr. Patterson, you've just admitted to identity theft, attempted wire fraud, and unauthorized access to financial accounts. 2 police officers entered the ballroom. Cameron tried to run again. Security grabbed him. Cameron Patterson, one officer said. We have a warrant for your arrest. Attempted wire fraud, identity theft, and violation of probation. Probation. Cameron had been on probation from the bankruptcy fraud case. I'd known about the fraud, he'd hidden assets during bankruptcy proceedings, but I'd stayed silent. Hadn't wanted to hurt my family. Now I watched as they handcuffed him. Sarah, please. Mom was crying. He's your brother. Don't do this. I didn't do this. He did. You all did. We're your family. Family doesn't steal from each other. The officers turned to Dad. Richard Patterson, we need to question you as well. You can come voluntarily or we can arrest you for conspiracy to commit fraud. Dad looked at me. Really looked at me. How can you do this? I'm your father. You stopped being my father the moment you saw me as an aita. They led both of them out. Cameron in handcuffs. Dad walking with his head down. Mom collapsed into a chair, sobbing. You've destroyed this family. You've destroyed everything. No, I said quietly. You destroyed it. Years ago. When you decided my only value was my bank account. Patricia touched my arm. We should go. Let them process this. I looked around the ballroom. 200 guests staring. Some sympathetic. Most judgmental. I didn't care. One more thing, I said loudly, addressing the room. For anyone here who's received gifts from my father or brother in the past 5 years. The trips, the dinners, the golf memberships. That money came from me. Without my knowledge or permission. My attorney will be contacting you for documentation. Aunt Lisa's hand went to her throat. Uncle James set down his champagne. If you cooperate, there won't be legal action. If you obstruct, there will be. I walked out of the Fairmont with Patricia, leaving behind the wreckage of my father's birthday party. Where to? Patricia asked. My attorney's office. I want to file a formal lawsuit. Civil recovery of all funds. And I want a restraining order against all of them. Sarah, they're your family. They were my family. Now they're just criminals who happen to share my DNA. The trial took 11 months. Cameron got 7 years for fraud and probation violation. Dad got 3 years probation and was ordered to pay restitution of $1.1 million. Mom wasn't charged but lost everything in the divorce. Dad left her after he found out she'd known about Cameron's plans and hadn't warned me. I was awarded $4.7 million in civil judgment plus interest and legal fees. Total, $6.2 million. The house they'd lived in, the one I'd been making mortgage payments on for 6 years without knowing Dad had remortgaged it, was seized and sold. Every asset Cameron had hidden was found and liquidated. My family was destroyed. And I felt nothing. 3 years later I stood in my corner office overlooking San Francisco Bay. My company had just closed a $200 million Series C funding round. My personal net worth had grown to $89 million. My assistant buzzed. Miss Patterson, there's a Margaret Patterson in the lobby. She doesn't have an appointment but says she's your mother. I hadn't spoken to her in 3 years. Does she appear to be in distress? Medical emergency? No, ma'am. She appears fine. Then tell her I'm not available. And update security. Margaret, Richard, and Cameron Patterson are not permitted in this building. Understood. I turned back to my computer, back to my work, back to my life. The one I'd built. The one they'd tried to take. The one that was finally, completely mine. My phone showed a text from an unknown number. Please. I have nothing. Your father left me. Cameron is in prison. I'm living in a studio apartment. I'm your mother. Please. I blocked the number. Some people would call me heartless. A terrible daughter. They'd be wrong. I wasn't heartless. I was healed. And healing sometimes means cutting out the infection. Even when the infection shares your blood. My assistant buzzed again. Miss Patterson, your 3 p.m. is here. The venture capital meeting. Perfect. Send them in. I closed my personal phone and opened my laptop. My family's chapter was closed. My story continued. And this time I was the only author. No more ghostwriters stealing my words. No more editors changing my ending. Just me, my success, and the knowledge that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from people who only love your wallet. They'd wanted my money. I'd given them justice instead. Fair trade.